Hello and welcome back to Basis and Practice in Programming. In this lecture, we are going to study more concepts or more grammars and syntax from C programming language. And the outline of the lecture for today will be as follows. So we will explain today a new concept, we call it loop. And also we are going to deal with arithmetic operations like plus and minus, multiply, divide, and also we will see some operations and different operation or different symbols related to arithmetic operations, and we will see the priority of those operations. So that means if we have in one sentence plus and multiply and divide, which one will be evaluated first? So we will see this one in details, and also during the lecture we will have several exercises which I will let you do it same like last video. You will submit the solution for those exercises by the end of the video after you watch the video. Okay, so let's start the lecture. So as you know, so let's have a little introduction about loops. Loops are, imagine we have this situation. You would like to create a software which will teach the kids how to do the multiply numbers with with 3. So you have 1 times 3, 2 times 3, 3 times 3. So imagine you have this kind of simple software, and you would like to print every time the same sentence, but only you will change the x value to 3. So this is the software. So in this case, you will repeat this printing. Imagine you have like from 1 to 7 or from 1 to 10 or from 1 to 20, whatever, and you would like to multiply the numbers from 1 to 7 every time with the 3. So in this case, you will repeat the printing sentences a lot. So this will be annoying and it's very boring. So how to do this kind of operation? Like if we have a simple sentence and this sentence repeated many times in the software, how we can do this one without doing this tedious and hard and boring thing? So in C, we can do this one in a very simple way, and this is what we are going to see here. So we will study things, we call it loop. Loop means repeat things, okay? So we have here in this sentence, we repeat, say 1 times 3, and then 2 times 3, and then 3 times 3, 4 times 3, and so on. So we want to repeat this one every time, the sentence, this sentence here. We would like to repeat this one. But the only change we have here is this number will be 3. So this one will repeat every time. Maybe this number will change. Okay, so we want, so this one fixed. This x is fixed at 3. But the changing thing is this number. Every time this will be 1, and then it will be 2, and then it will be 3. And also, of course, the result will be different. So here, the result is 1 times 3, and then 2 times 3. This is a number. So this one, I say here, 1 times 3 will be 3. So this 3 will go to this digit, okay? And then 2 times 3 will be 6. So 6 will be printed here, okay, in this digit, and so on. Okay, so we want this sentence to be. How we can do this one? We will use something, we call it while loop. So the while loop is a very simple concept here. So we will say print, and then the first number, every time the first number change, as you see in the previous slides, 1, 2, 3, and then this one changed to 4, and then 5, then 6, then 7. So this number change all the time. So here I will put some digit, and I will say this digit is coming from some number, coming from something, we call it count. So count the digit will go here, okay? So this digit will go here, the count, and then count times x. X is equal to 3, same. X is a constant value and equal to 3, okay? So I will say 3, for example, count at the first time is equal 1. So first time, count is equal 1. So I will say here count times, so 1 times 3, 3 will equal 3. So 3, second 3 will be here. So this will be 3, and this one, first one will be count equal 1. So it will be 1 times x equal 3. Okay? So this is what will happen. And then we have here some special sentence here. We call it while loop. So the while loop here is like this. It's a keyword or a structure in C language. We use the keyword. This is a reserved word. Okay, while, and then we open one parenthesis here, and then we put here some logic. What kind of logic? We put something here. We say if the count, we see here, while mean repeat. Repeat what? Repeat anything between these parentheses, between here until here. Be careful now. There is a new parenthesis here, different than the main function parentheses. So the main start here and finish here. The while loop start here, the block start here and finish here. Okay, so this is, we call it while block. Okay, we call this one while block. So this one here, this any code here between these two parentheses, we call it while block. Okay, so while block here contain 2 lines of code. Okay, so in the while here, say I'm saying repeat anything in the block, repeat anything in the block as long as this logic is true. If this logic is valid or true, repeat this while block. Keep repeating these lines. So this line and this line, keep repeating until this logic here is not valid, so or invalid. Okay, so let's see what is this logic. Logic here, count is smaller than or equal limit. So I see here, this one I will change to English. I will say this one, I say while, here is it in English, while, okay, this is the sentence, while count is less, okay, so let's continue, is less, this one is less, the symbol is less, okay, less or equal, less or equal limit. If the count is less than or equal limit, what is limit? Limit here is a constant, another constant here is it, limit equals 7, okay? So if the logic here, count is less than or equal limit, run this block. And then, okay, you finish the block, you will run this line, and then you check the logic again, one more time. So if the logic is still valid, then run the block again, and then again check the logic. If the logic is valid, run the block. Keep do that until the logic is not valid. So let's check if the logic is valid or not. Count is equal 1. So 1 is smaller than 7 or not? Yes, it's smaller than 7. So that means it's valid. So 1 is smaller than or equal 7. So that's good. So in this case, I will print count times x equal 3. And then I will say the new value of count is equal the previous count value plus 1. So this is mean increase the count by 1. So this is the meaning of this sentence. Here mean increase the count by 1. So what does this sentence mean? This sentence mean count the new value of count equal previous count value plus 1. So all the time it's like this. If you repeat the variable 2 times, one in the left side of the assignment of equal and one in the right side of the equal, in this case this one is the old value, this one is the new value. Okay, so this is how this one how this while loop is working. Now, I will check this loop. We will execute this loop. So how this software will work? So the software will work like this. Okay, let me just erase the screen here. So how this one will work? So this one, first time, count is equal 1. Okay, count is equal 1, limit is equal 7. That's good. So while 1 is smaller than 7, that's true, that's correct. This is true. This is a true sentence. Okay, that's a true logic. This is a true logic. In this case, run this one. So it will be print, it will print on the screen 1 times x equal 3. It will print this sentence. Okay, only this sentence. And then it will make count equal now how much? It will be count plus 1. So it will be equal 2. So now count is equal 2. Okay, count equal 2. So now let's go the block again one more time. So count now is it 2. Okay, count is equal 2. 2 is less than 7. Yes, it's a true still. 2 is less than 7. Less or equal 7. So in this case, what it will print? It will print count, which is equal to, times x equal 6. Okay, so it will be 2 times x equals 6. Why 6? Because 2 times 3 equals 6. So in this case, it will print this sentence, the second sentence. Okay, and then it will increase the count. Now the count will be what? New count will be equal. The old count 2 plus 1 will equal 3. So now the count is equal 3. Okay, let's see. 3 is less than 7? Yes, 3 is still less than 7. In this case, it will print count is equal 3. It will be 3 times x equal, and then this one will be 3 times x, will be 3 times 3 will be equal 9. So this one will be 9. So that means it will print this one. Okay, then count will be what now? 4. 4 is less than 7? Yes, 4 is less than 7. So this one now will be 4. Count became 4. So 4 is less than 7? Yes. So it will be 4 times x equal, and then 4 times 3 will equal 12. So it will print this one. Okay, and then let's continue. Count will become now what? 5. So 5 is less than 7? Yes, 5 is still less than 7. So in this case, it will be 5 times x equal 15, which is this one. It will print this one. And then now count became 6. So 6, okay, let's continue, almost finish. So 6 is less than 7? Yes, 6 is less than 7. So in this case, it will be 6 times x equal 18. So this one will print this one. Okay, and then now count became what? 7. So now count became 7. 7 is less than or equal 7. Yes, it's less than or equal. Less than or equal. So it's equal. So in this case, 7 is less than or equal 7. It's a true. So it will print what? It will print 7 times x, because count now became 7. So it will be 7 times x equal 21. Okay, because this one will be count is 7. 7 times 3 will be equal 21. So it will print this one. Okay, and then now count is equal what? 8. So 8 is, now here it will be 8. 8 is less than 7? No. No, it's false. Okay, it's false. In this case, no run for this block. This block will not run. It will just ignore and continue the code. So it will not run the code. So in this case, the output will be this one only. Okay, so this is how we can run the while loop. Okay, so let's see this one. So how many times we repeat this code? We repeat this code 7 times. Okay, so first time we execute this block, and then Again, check the logic. If the logic is okay, execute the code one more time. If the logic is okay, we execute the block code here, the block. Okay, so this is block of the while. So the while will be like this. While will be like this. While, and then we will put here any logic. Something could be true or false. Something could be true. Logic mean true or false. Something could be true or false, and then we open and then close. So here will be the code you want. This is how we have the while loop. Okay, so let's see this one. So the while loop will be like this. You have the while code, and then they will have a condition. This one is the logic. Okay, and then this logic, if it's true, it will run all sentences inside the while block. So all C sentences or statements inside, inside while block. Okay, all the C statement inside while block. Okay, and then go again, check the logic. If the logic is true, continue. If the logic is true, continue, run the block many times until the logic is false. If the logic is false, just ignore the while and go to the next line of code. So just totally ignore while loop, okay? Okay, so here is it, just step by step, just to clarify for you how this code is working. So at the first time, in the first iteration means the first time you run the while loop. First time you run the while loop, count was 1. And the limit was 7 and x was 3, okay? And then so this one was 1 and this one was 7, okay? So 1 is smaller than or equal 7, yes, then run this code. And this code will print on the screen this line of code. And then next time, second time, check the logic again one more time. Now the count became 2, look here, because we say count equal count plus 1. So next time, count became 2. 2 is still the smaller than or equal 7. Yes, that's true. Then run the block again. So it will print this line of code. It will print on the screen. And then count increased. Now count became what? 3. So now 3 is smaller than or equal 7. Yes. So print this one again. So this one will print x. It will print this one. And then it will check count again. So now count equal 4. 4. So 4 is smaller than or equal 7. Yes. So in this case, print this one on the screen. And then now count became 5. So count became 5. So 5 is smaller than or equal 7. Yes. In this case, print this one. Then increase count. Now count became 6. 6 is smaller than or equal 7. Yes. So run this block again one more time. So it will print this one. Then now count became 7. So 7 is smaller than or equal 7. Yes. So print this sentence. And now count became 8. When count became 8, now ignore the while loop. Just go and leave the while loop. Just go out. Just don't execute the code and just exit and continue the software without running the while loop. This is the meaning of this one. So in the 8th iteration, 8 time, the count equal 8. So in this case, no output and just leave the while and continue the software. Okay, so this is how the while loop is working. Okay, so let me just show you this code. Okay, so let's see this code in the, this is our first code. So I will run this code, for example, let's create some new project here in Visual Studio. Okay. Okay, console applications, and it will, okay, this is console application, next, and let's call this one lecture 4. Actually, I can prepare this one before I start recording, but I want to repeat this one many times, so you will not forget this process. So now let's rename this one. Oh, sorry, this one should be okay, C, and then here we will just replace all of this code with this code. Okay, so that's it. And now let's execute this one. Okay, you see here, so here's it, x times 1 times x, okay, 2 times x. So you can make this one for more even. Imagine I want to print from x from 1 x times 1 until x times 10. So in this case you change this one to 10, just this one to 10. So now this block will run 10 times. So let's see what will happen here. Look here, so what happened? So from 1 to 10, because this block executed 10 times, okay? Because the limit is 10. If you wanted it 20, yes, no problem. You just put this one at 20 and run this code again one more time, okay? So it's easy. Okay, so you see, it's from 1 until 20. Okay, so you see here, so you can make this loop run as you want, okay? But now you must here be careful about the logic. If the logic here does not make the software exit, in this case, the software will run forever. This block will run forever. So imagine, for example, if I say count is, here, for example, let's say count is 1 is less than or equal, not less than, let's say make this one, for example, is a greater than. Okay, how about count is 1 is a greater, if the count is a greater than or equal limit. Okay, in this case, let's see what will happen here. So the logic is not correct. So this is, you see, this one will not run, the block will not run because this one is false. So count is equal 1. Okay, count is equal 1. 1 is a greater than or equal 7? No. 1 is a smaller, not greater. Okay, this is one way. Another way is, how about if we say count and I put here, for example, maybe I will return for this one later. I want to make a loop which run for infinity, for example. Okay, so is this one possible? Okay, for example, how about if this, say here, this one is minus, okay, and this one is smaller than, okay. So if the count is smaller than the limit, but every time the count is going down, so the count is going down and the limit is up. The limit is in 20 and the count, every time the count go minus, just go down, does not go up. It's not going toward the limit. So usually this one, let me just draw here. So usually if you have a count, so here is it, the limit is 7. So limit here, for example, okay, limit is, number here is a 20. Okay, limit is a 20. So if we say this one is a plus, if this one is a plus, every time the count is going up until it's reached the limit, okay? But when I say count minus 1, so every time the count is going far away from the limit. So far away from the limit, that means this loop will keep, every time the count will be smaller than the limit, every time, forever. So every time the count will go down, okay? So this is what I meant here. So let's see what will happen if I run this code. So let's try to run this code. You see, this one will run forever. So every time this one, the count is going minus and never reach the limit. So this one will run forever. So how I can shut down this one, because this one will run forever, I need to do just X from here. Okay, so this will run forever. If I keep it, it will never close. The loop will keep running forever. Okay, so be careful about the logic. What I want to say here, you want to be sure that the logic, one step in the future, it will be false. It will be false somewhere in the future when you are executing this block. But if it's never became false, in this case it will be true all the time. In this case, this block will run forever. Okay, so this is very important thing about the block. Okay, so let's return back the code to its original status. Okay, so this is about the while loop here, and here is the logic of the while loop. Okay, now one important thing I already explained to you here, and I would like you to remember, is when we have assignment here, when we have assignment, in this case we will say here 15 go to count. So this is, we know. Now when we say count equal count plus 1, how this one is working? So there is the assignment, we call this one the assignment operator, and there is a left side, and there is the right side. Okay, sorry, this one will be the right, okay, right side. So there is a right side and there is a left side. So this is on the left of the equal, this is on the right of the equal. Now if we have the same name, the same variable on the left and on the right, this one will be the old value of the variable, and this one will be the new value. Okay, new value. Okay, so in here I'm saying the new value, so it will be like this. So the operation will be like this: count equal count plus 1. Okay, so this is it. And now we will evaluate from right to left, So we say, okay, count is what? Count is equal 15. So I replace count by 15. So here we go. Count is equal 15. And then 15 plus 1 equals 16. So 16 will go as a new value for the count. So the new value of the count will be the old value of the count plus 1. Okay, so this is how the assignment operation is working. So the assignment operator is working from right to left. You need to do the right side first, and then whatever result in the right side, go to the left side. Okay, this is the meaning of this arrow here. Okay, another thing, let's back again to our software about while loop. So let's go to the while loop again one more time, but with different example. So here in this example, I have integer, and this integer sum equals 0. That's good. And then I have another integer I equals 0. And then I have another integer num without any value. I have integer status equal 1. Okay. And here I will ask enter a non-negative number. So I will read non-negative number. So I read non-negative number. But the new things today is I'm saying here scanf equal status. What's this one mean? Equal status. So you see the equal here. Before we use only scanf, but now we say scanf equal status. So status is a variable. What is the equal scanf? So scanf here will read some value, some digit from the keyboard and give it to the num. That's good. This is what we know. Now scanf also generate some output. This output will generate some output, and that output will go to the status. Okay, that output is what? That output, if you insert digit, it will put in the status number 1. If you add here wrong value, for example, you inserted character, or you inserted some string, in this case, scanf will generate some value 0. 0 means some wrong input. So if you insert correct input, that means digit, in this case, scanf will generate 1. And if you are inserting wrong input, it will generate 0. And that one, because I say equal here, that generated value will go to the status. Okay, this is the meaning of this one. Now let's go to the while loop. So here, what happened in this line, so I will try to put this code, this code inside here. Okay, and run. Oh, this one need the CTR warning. So okay, so I will define, and then I will see here underscore CTR. Okay, no. Okay, so I hope everything will work. Yeah, okay, scan up. Okay, let me put it here. Okay, I don't want to put it okay. Maybe I did some wrong copying, so let me just see. Okay, so here we go. Let's check. It's still working. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so let's check here. So this one, the software will be like this. Enter a non-negative number. So I will say scan and it will read some number, and that number will be go to num. So if I say here, for example, enter a non-negative number, so I'll say 5. Here is it. So let's see the output. Here is it, 5, non-negative number. Enter another non-negative number. Now this one is inside the loop, okay? But if I enter here, not if I enter something wrong. So if I enter something wrong, for example, I enter O or okay, E, for example, this is character. So in this case, it will the software just shut down because it's supposed to run this while loop, but because I enter some wrong number, I enter wrong value, so it's supposed to be digits, but I insert not digit. So in this case, this one will be equal to 0. Okay, so if I insert number, this one will equal 1. If I insert character, this one will be 0. Okay, now let's go to the while loop. What does this while loop do? This while loop, this is the block of the while loop. This one means repeat this sentence. Okay, repeat this block. So what is this while loop here say? If number is more than or equals 0, okay, if you insert some number and this number is more than 0, so this number here is more than 0, mean positive number. That means more than or equal. This one more than or equal, or larger than or equal, okay? Or greater than or equal. So greater than or equal 0. So if you insert number more than or equal 0, that means it's positive, okay? And this one and, okay? So there are two conditions. And status is equal 1. So there are two conditions here. Two conditions, okay? Two conditions. Okay, the first condition here, the first condition is num must be greater than or equal 0. More than or equal 0. Okay, this is the first condition. Okay, the second condition is you have to, the second condition is what? Okay, sorry, let's make this one comment so you will not have any trouble with the software. Okay, the second condition is status, okay, status equals 1. Okay, there are two conditions. So what does this one mean here? This one is a symbol mean and. Two conditions mean this condition and this condition. Okay, so as you know, status is equal 1, but the status will change to some another value if you are inserting character. If you are inserting character, this status became 0. So if the status is equal 0 and the number is still positive, we don't care. We want both of them to be good. So we want the status to be 1 and the number to be positive. Okay? So if these two conditions are fine, so you insert, suppose for example, I insert by the keyboard, I enters for example 5. Okay, 5 is positive. So if 5 will go to the number, so number now is equal 5, and what will be the status? Because I insert digit, status will be equal 1. Okay, why? Because scanf will generate 1. So 1 will go to the status. In this case, 5 is more than 0, that's true. Status is equal 1, then execute this code. So what is this one will be? This one will be what? Again, sum. It will be the new sum equal the old sum. What is the old sum? 0. 0 plus, what is the num? 5. So the new sum will equal what? 5. The new sum equal 5. Okay, so now the new sum is equal 5, and then ask again one more time. Enter a non-negative number, that means positive number. And then you will ask the user to insert a new number. So the user will insert, for example, imagine the user will insert another 5 or, okay, 4. Okay, the user insert 4. So 4 is a number, it's a digit. So in this case, status will equal what? It will equal 1. And then what will happen? After that will be II++. What's this one mean? This one mean exactly, this II++ mean II equal II plus 1. This one, this sentence mean increase II 1. Increase II by 1 value, by 1. This is the meaning of this one. So this is the meaning of this one. Okay, so II plus 1. So II became 0, now II equal 1. Okay, then go again. Is the number positive? Yes, the number is 4. It's positive. Is the status is 1? Yes, the status is 1 because I insert number. Then I will say new sum equal the old sum. What was the old sum? Old sum was 5. So 5 plus new number plus 4 equal 9. So now sum equal 9. So now sum equal 9. Okay? Then it will ask you again. Enter non-negative number. I insert, and then it will ask you again one more time. So imagine I insert 2 now. So 2 is a digit. Is it? So that means status will equal 1. Increase II one more time. So II became now what? It became 2. Because before it was equal 1. Because 0 and then became increased, became 1. And now it became 2. 2 and then go again. So this one equal 2. So II now is equal to equal 2. As to remember. And then now I inserted 2 here. So let's go again. Is the number positive? Yes, because it's 2. Is the status equal 1? Yes, that's true. Then increase. So sum now is equal. The old sum is 9. 9 plus the new num equal 2. So 9 plus 2 is equal 11. So the new value of sum is equal 11. Insert a new number. If you insert a new number, now what I will do, I will insert, imagine I will insert, for example, -4. For example, negative number. So, and then status equal what? Status will equal 1. Why? Because it's a digit. -4 is digit. So it will be equal 1. And then now I is equal what? I will be equal 3. Okay, now let's go here in the condition again. I is the number greater than or equal 0? Is this one is greater than or equal 0? No, it's false. So this one false and this one is true. So false and this one is true, then in this case stop, because this one is false. One of them is false, then stop. So in this case it would say you entered non-negative number. How many non-negative number? I inserted 3 non-negative number. 3 non-negative number. 3, because I is equal to 3. 3 non-negative number, and their sum is, and what? It will be sum 11. So let's try this one. So let's see if this software will work as we explain or not. So the first number I will ask here, enter non-negative number. So I will enter 5, same like what I explained to you. Okay, so here is it, 5. First time I enter 5, and then again from now we are inside the loop, and it will ask you enter another new number. So I will enter 4, and again it will go the loop again and ask me in the loop again, enter a new number. I will enter 2, and then I click enter, and it will ask you again, but now I will insert -4, and then click. It will tell me you are entered 3 non-negative number, and their sum is 11. You see, exactly same like what I explained to you. Okay, so this is, and you can make this one different every time. Every time you can make this software behave different. So let's see, I enter a new number. So for example, 1, and then 2, sorry, this is the 3, 4, 5, and then now I don't insert negative number. I will not insert negative number. I don't want this one to be false. I want this one to be false. So I want status not equal 1. How I can do that? I will insert character. So I will insert M. So let's see if this one will continue the while loop or it will go out. Finish. So click here. Oh, it's finish. And it will tell you, you entered 5 numbers. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. Yes, you entered 5 number, and their sum is 15. Okay, so that means you can stop this loop in 2 ways. The first way is to insert a negative number. The second way is to insert a wrong value, wrong, not digit. You insert something wrong. Okay, so yeah, this is the software. Okay, let's go back to this software again. And now in this software, yeah, so this is the software and how this software is behavior. Now I can, so this is the while. You can do this while this way, or look, please be careful now. So let's see, the while start here, okay, and then you put the condition, here. This is the logic, you put the logic here, okay. Okay, and then you will put the while block. Here's the while block. Let's see, I will change this one to a new way. A new way like what? This way. So what this one? Keep the block as it is, but we will put here do. That means execute the block first, Same block. Look here, I will jump, go forth and back. So back, forth, back, forth. So this one we call it do while. So you will run the block first and then check the logic. So what is the difference between this one and this one? In this one, check the logic first, check logic first. Okay, check logic first. Okay, check logic first. What about this one? This one, run block first. Then then check the logic. Then check the logic. Then check. Okay, check logic. Okay, so run and then check. Here, check and then run. Then this one, check and then run. This one, run and then check. Okay, exactly the same output. So there are two types of loops we study here. The first one is while, like this. The second way is do while. Okay, and both of them will do the same thing. So which one you prefer, it's up to you. And maybe this is not the only way to do loop. We will see next lecture another type of loop. Okay, so there are several types of loop. I can do the loop in several ways. There are two ways we study today: while, do while. Okay, now do while will be like this. You run the block first. Okay, run code. Okay, code blocks. Code the block first. Okay, this is first, and then check the logic. Check logic. So you don't check logic first. You do the block and then check the logic. Okay, now same what I told you before in the scanf equal status. So this is just summary for what I said. Here I just put everything I say, I put it in the slide, so later maybe you will forget or something, or you don't want to watch the video again one more time, you can read the slides and you can remember everything. So here is the scanf, and if you put some good digits, if you put some integer, status will equal 1. So the scan will give the status 1. It will give it 1. And if you put, for example, character or symbol or a float number, that means not digit. In this case, this one will be equal 0. Scan will give the status 0. Okay, another example. Let's see another example. If you say here, I want a float number. So if you put digit or float, because integer and float are same, if you put them, scan will give a status, it will give status 1. But if you put character, it will give it 0. Okay? And this one here is the while loop. So number, and this one mean if number is more than 0 and status is equal 1. This is the meaning of this one. So both of them must be equal true. Okay? In this case, the loop will execute. But if this one is false, or this one is false, this one is not correct. If this one is not correct, or this one is not correct, no execute for the block. No execute for the while block. Okay, here's some logics. You need to, maybe you will use it later. So maybe you can later use like this. For example, you say while, and then you will say, for example, num is a greater than. It's a greater than 7, for example. A greater than, or less than, or less than. So here is it. Greater, less than, greater than. Or less than or equal, or greater than or equal, or not equal, not equal. So maybe I can do logic like this. While A is not equal, so if I say like this, not equal B, if A is not equal B, then run the block. Okay? If A is not equal B, then everything is fine. Then run this block. If A is equal B, don't run this block. So you can use this kind of symbol. Okay? Now, another thing is the operator. Assignment operator, I already explained for you. Plus, minus, divide, times. You know those operator. We will see today also the modular operator. This is you will see today. And also, we will see today plus equal, minus equal, times equal, divide equal, modular equal. What does this one mean? Okay, so let's see what does this one mean. Okay, let's go to here. and then I will explain for you what is this one mean. Okay, so I will here enter a non-negative number. Okay, I will keep this one. Just I will explain for you the operators. So I will say sum. Okay, and I will. Okay, so here I will have sum, and I will have scan here, and then I need also num. Okay. Okay, I want to explain for you what's the meaning of this sentence. For example, I will say here, okay, I will here say print f, okay, and then I will say sum that okay, sum equal, and then I will put here some modular, okay, modular d, and then I will put here sum. Okay, okay, so this is the sum, and before this sum I will do some operation here for this. So I will say sum minus, okay, or okay, plus equal for example num. So what is this one be? Plus equal. This one exactly mean sum. You can do it different way. It's equal, sum equal, sum plus num. But some people later in the program, when you became professional, you will prefer this way. You say, I don't want to say sum equals sum plus num. So I don't want to repeat this one. So in this case, I don't repeat this one, and I just say here like this. Okay, so like this. Okay, so this is the exact same like this one. So do you want proof? Let's run. So let's run this one and see if this one is as we said or not. So I will say here, for example, 4. Okay, and as you see, sum is equal 0. 0 plus 4 equal 4. You see here, sum became 4. Okay, so imagine, for example, sum here is equal, okay, 2. Okay, so 2 plus 4 will be equal 6. So let's see this one. So I will say here 4, and then let's see sum. Sum equals 6. Okay, so this is why, because 2 plus 4 equals 6. Okay, that's it. So this is the meaning of the plus. Now what about minus? Exactly the same. So if you say minus, that means this one will be minus. So let's see the minus again one more time. So I will put here, for example, 1. So 1 sum minus 1. So sum is equal to 2 minus 1, it's equal 1. So here is sum equal 1. Okay, so let's see, how about if this one times? Times mean this one will be times. Okay, so this one will be times. So let's run. This one equal, for example, say 5. 5 times 2 equal 10. So let's see, yes, it's equal 10. Okay, so the last one for now is divide. Okay, here is divide. This one mean divide. So let's run this one. So I will say, for example, okay, here I will say, for example, 1, and 2 divided by 1 equal 2. Here is it. Okay, or you can put some big numbers for the division. So let's see here. I will say, okay, 20 divide 5. Okay, here is it, 4. Okay, so it's working. So this one will be 20 divided by 5 equal 4. 4 equals sum. So sum here will equal 4. Okay, so this is the new value of sum. Okay, yes, okay, that's it. So this is the meaning of these operators. I hope this is clear. Okay, so so far, yeah, we just I think I prefer to stop here. I don't like to make the video very long, so I will stop here for these operators. So today or in this video we talk about while loop, and also we talk about do while loop and how to execute them, and also we talk about the logic operators, the logic operators, and also about those arithmetics. So I will stop here for this video, and I will continue the lecture in the second video. Thank you, and see you next time.